I wanted to take a couple of minutes and thank all of you for working as hard as you've worked this first quarter. I've said this to you a number of different times. I'm amazed at how fast our school year goes. It literally seems to me like we've been in session for 2 weeks. Yet at the same time, I know all the work that we've done means that we've been in session quite longer than 2 weeks. And I am constantly amazed when I go to different campuses and different classrooms and I see all the innovative, creative, compassionate, caring, proactive instruction that's occurring. We know we've worked really hard and are going to continue to work hard in implementing our new standards. And one of the positions that we've always taken is that in order for us to really instruct those new standards well, we have to really understand what that means to us in our instructional practices. And it's really encouraging to see a lot of the different instructional practices in our district that reflect our growing understanding of what the Common Core is asking us to do. Many of you who have been in our district have experienced the past couple of years and our decline in enrollment, and we've talked before about how there's a lot of different reasons why our enrollment has declined. Some of the reasons are we've not done all that we could do with some of our students, and that necessitated changes on the part of the parent. But at the same time, most of our decline has been as a result of our economy and folks that aren't moving or are no longer living in our community, or folks that have gotten a job on the other side of the valley, and it's a lot easier to drop their children off by their new employment than have them stay here locally with us. And we've always said that we're going to get to a point in time in which the decline kind of levels off, and then as a community we're going to start growing again. Our 40th day is coming up shortly, and the hope is when we get those numbers that we're trending towards a much less decline this year than we've seen in years previous. And if so, that's a really good thing. So when we get those enrollment numbers, I'll be sure to share them with you so you can also kind of track where our enrollment is in relationship to last year and previous years, so you can be part of that process of understanding, you know, how our growth curve is going and how ultimately it's going to level out and then continue up. I also want to take for 2 seconds an opportunity to re-explain some things I think I've said previously, and I don't know that I've said them the right way, because I still have individuals that will say to me, Chad, not every kid should go to college, or Chad, not every kid is made out to go to college. And I've always talked about the idea that when a student graduates from our campus, they should be prepared to go to college. I fully understand and realize that there are a number of students that rightfully shouldn't go to a 4-year program. They should go to 2-year programs, 1-year programs, certificate programs, trade schools, schools of art, apprenticeships. Those are viable options. What I've always said is that in order for those students to have success, their level of ability and competency leaving high school is very similar to what a student who's going to a 4-year college's level and ability and competency is. And so when we talk about year 13, when we talk about preparing our kids for a world that doesn't necessarily exist yet, we've got to come to terms with the idea that the level of preparation for our graduates, whether they go to a 4-year college or not, is not that different from those that go to a 4-year or a 2-year or a trade school. And I think sometimes we get stuck on this idea that, well, we're not going to, not every kid's going to go to college. I don't think I've ever said every kid's going to go to college. I think what I have said is every kid should be prepared to go to college. And in doing that, we're ensuring that they have an opportunity after our high school to be contributing members to our community. I also hope that you have a fantastic fall break. I think education is an I don't think people understand how tough our job is. And I know that we constantly hear from people saying, oh yes, I'd be an educator because I get fall break off and winter break off. And the truth of the matter is that these breaks come at a very appropriate time because our job is so hectic and frantic. It's very important that we take the opportunity when we can to rest and relax and reconnect with the family members and friends that we haven't seen much of this first quarter. I continue, as always, to look forward to all the different opportunities that we're going to have in our district. I feel very lucky to be here, and I want to wish you a happy fall break and thank you again for such a great start to the school year.